Hey guys, what is up? This is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and in tonight's movie review, I'm going to be doing a movie review on this new action thriller movie, which I actually went and saw as a Thursday preview screening, and technically it comes out tomorrow, but of course I rarely do this, of course. I actually went and saw this movie early tonight as part of an early access screening, like a Thursday preview screening is what I'm saying. So anyway, this review is on The Accountant 2. The Accountant 2 is the sequel to the 2016 movie The Accountant, which, in case some of you guys out there have not seen my review on the first Accountant, I like the first Accountant. I think, The Accountant, the first one that came out in 2016, I liked it for what it is. I think it's pretty good. Like, not really saying much, but it's still good, don't get me wrong, but yeah, 9 years later this year, we got a sequel, and yeah, so first of all, let me just talk about what this movie's about. So, in The Accountant 2, this movie takes place like sometime after the events of the first Accountant, and so in this movie, when director Raymond King, like Raymond King from the first Accountant, played by J.K. Simmons, when he ends up getting killed off by unknown assassins, and to find the accountant is discovered on his arm during an autopsy, Treasury agent like Mary Beth, of course, that's her name, Mary Beth, and she's like forced to contact Christian Wolf, the accountant, to solve Raymond's murder, with the help of his estranged but highly lethal brother Brax. And, Christian applies his brilliant mind and less than legal methods to piece together the unsolved puzzle. And as they excuse me, pardon me, as they get closer to the truth, the trio draw the attention of some of the most ruthless killers alive, and all attend on putting a stop to their search. And it's pretty much, it's kind of almost similar to the first Accountant, only that it's basically like Ben Affleck as Christian Wolf, like going out to shoot a bunch of bad guys, and yeah, in order to find these assassins who killed J.K. Simmons' character, and yeah. So when I first saw trailers to this movie, I kind of had low expectations when seeing trailers for this movie, because at the time, I never saw the first Accountant until it was streaming on Max. So like I said, if you haven't seen my review on the first Accountant, like I said, the first Accountant's good and all. I think it's pretty good, yeah. But then after seeing The Accountant 2 with my dad and Uncle Charles tonight, I actually thought this was actually a really great movie, and then when I was reading that most of the reviews were positive to this film, like critics have been saying that this movie is even better than the first Accountant, and after seeing the movie, I think I agree with you guys, because with some of you guys out there who have already seen the second film, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you guys that The Accountant 2 I thought was great. It was really good, and it was even better than the first. I think what makes this movie even better than the first Accountant was because it had more action sequences, including gun shooting scenes. And I gotta say, the sound itself was actually really good too. And it's and of course, I actually went and saw this movie in an XD D-Box theater. Because if you don't know what D-Box is actually like a little recliner seat format where in Cinemark XD XD theaters, they actually have these D-Box seats where they move around during the action sequences, and it's kind of almost like one of those rides or attractions at Universal Studios or Walt Disney World. Which, yeah, it's really cool, and my Uncle Charles actually felt the vibrating from the shaking seats, yeah, during the action scenes, and yeah, it was just such a cool experience to see this movie in XD D-Box. And yeah, and I actually went and saw this movie at the Rundle Mills Cinemark, where they had that THX certified auditorium. But that THX theater was also playing The Accountant 2, but that one was at 5:15. Because I actually saw this movie at 6 o'clock. I went to the 6 o'clock showing to this movie, and while the THX theater was playing the 5:15 showing, but I went to the 6 o'clock showing here in my area in Maryland. And yeah, for what it is, The Accountant 2 I thought was great, even better than the first, and I gotta say, it was an enjoyable time. I gotta say, Gavin O'Connor actually does a great job directing this film. Like, this is actually his new film he directed 5 years after he directed his last movie released in March 2020, which was the last movie I saw in theaters before they shut everything down at the time, The Way Back. Which I think I still think The Way Back is a great film, and probably one of the most underrated films to come out in 2020 as well. Yeah, and Gavin O'Connor, he does a great job directing this movie, and Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck was great in this film as always. Like, Ben Affleck's always fun to see, and he plays like Christian Wolf, who's like an autistic accountant who has autism. And yeah, Ben Affleck does a great job in this film, and he's always cool to see. And Braxton, Brax is actually short for Braxton, which is actually like John's character, of course, and Christian's brother in the film. And that's another reason this movie's better than the first, because Braxton actually has more screen time in this movie than he had in the original. And yeah, and of course the John actor who plays Braxton in the film, he's actually the same actor who played the Punisher from Daredevil. And yeah, speaking of Daredevil, I actually watched that Disney Plus MCU show called Daredevil Born Again, which I know I've slowly been given, because I know I haven't really been that big on MCU Disney Plus shows lately, mainly the animated ones, but I still enjoy Daredevil Born Again. I think it's probably one of the rare good MCU shows on Disney Plus. Yeah, because it's got the John actor known as the Punisher from Daredevil. Well, you guys know what I mean. So yeah, the performances were great, and it's yeah, the story itself, I thought the story itself was actually more well written compared to the first, and I think this movie story was actually very interesting, and it definitely improves on its predecessor. Yeah, it's and this movie took this movie took 9 years to make. Even though this movie was actually first officially announced back in June 2017, but between this movie and the first, this movie came out 9 years after the first one. Yeah. And also, the difference between this movie and the first is that we know the first Accountant was made by Warner Brothers, I think, and if I remember correctly, but this movie's new distributor is actually Amazon MGM Studios. Although internationally this movie internationally it was distributed by Warner Brothers, and yeah, because this is kind of a logo spoiler, but right after the MGM logo appears at the beginning of the movie, the Warner Brothers logo actually surprisingly made an appearance on The Accountant too, after the other logo, and after the MGM logo, which that kind of almost got me confused for a second, because right when the Warner Brothers logo popped up, I thought I was watching a different movie. Are we in the right theater? Are we in the wrong movie? But no, because I gotta say, The Accountant was actually technically both Warner Brothers, but the sequel is from MGM. Yeah, it's and two MGM movies this year in a row for A Working Man, and now this movie. How is the MGM logo still using the 100th anniversary logo? Were these two movies completed in 2024? And before they eventually came out this year, and they still had to use the 100th anniversary logo. I don't know. It's but I think as for Columbia Pictures, though, I think the Columbia Pictures logo's back to normal, because I think for Columbia Pictures, like 2025 releases, I think they're just gonna go back to using the normal logo, and I think the logo is gonna be back to normal. So no more 100th anniversary Columbia Pictures logo, because that was last year. But all that aside, The Accountant 2 was great, and it was definitely even better than the original Accountant. My dad and Uncle Charles enjoyed the movie very much. And yeah, and of course, just in case if I forgot or something like that, but I usually show tickets whenever I see new movies in theaters, and yeah, this is my ticket to the movie The Accountant 2. This is my ticket. And it was actually attached to these, these were actually two other tickets that my Uncle Charles bought. And, yeah. I like it better when I show it like this, and, yeah. and also when I went to go see this movie, I actually got something collectible, and it's actually a popcorn bucket to promote a movie that's coming out on May 2nd. And yeah, I actually got a popcorn bucket for Thunderbolts. Yeah, very neat and very cool, huh? Yeah. Yeah, because I don't really collect popcorn buckets all that much, but since I got popcorn when seeing this movie, like my Uncle Charles and Dad actually got me popcorn in a Thunderbolts popcorn bucket, which I thought was pretty cool. And yeah, so yeah, and as for Thunderbolts, I'll probably see Thunderbolts, considering the fact that it's an MCU movie and it comes out on May 2nd. So I'll probably see Thunderbolts, since maybe some people might enjoy it for an MCU movie, but I'll definitely see Thunderbolts for sure. Just to let you know, guys. And yeah, so overall, The Accountant 2 was a great movie, and and the and the previews I got in front of The Accountant 2, I only got 4 previews, but that's okay, because because considering the fact that this was a long movie, I only got 4 previews, but that's okay. At least it won't be hard to remember 4 previews. Excuse me. But yeah, so the previews I got in front of The Accountant 2 are, I got 28 Years Later, and I got Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Formula 1, and From the World of John Wick, Ballerina. Yeah. All those previews were very good, and I'll probably see all of them listed here. As long as I check out the first 2 20 Days and Weeks Later films whenever I have time, but well, you guys know what I mean, so I'll still see them eventually whenever I have time, so there you have it. So yeah, guys, The Accountant 2, it was a great movie, and overall, I'm going to give The Accountant 2 4 stars out of 5. So yeah, if you enjoyed the first Accountant, then I recommend checking out the second if it's playing at a theater near you. And there you have it, guys. That's going to be it for my movie review on The Accountant 2. And that's going to be it for this video, so make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.